Good morning everyone. Welcome to Market Voice. In this series, we are making an attempt to bring in the warfield wisdom from a very famous warrior SunTzu, who lived 2500 years ago and wrote warfield treaties that are relevant even today, not just for the battlefields, also for our regular life as well as our trading activities. In the last 2 to 3 episodes, we saw about the book, which has about 13 chapters, starting off with the first and foremost chapter, which is concerning about planning. In this first chapter, SunTzu says the art of war is of vital importance. So here even though these are specific activities or tasks that needs to be done, even though they look like a science of warfield, he still understands the significance of no matter what rules are there, you should have the wisdom when to apply them, and that wisdom of applying the given rules is what makes it an art. So compared to that, is trading a science or an art? Trading also definitely has rules, definitely needs very strict and predefined approach, but then also no matter what rules you follow, there are certain nuances which a trader only with his practices will be able to do well. So if you ask me whether trading is a science or a art, trading is definitely a science. When you apply rules, or whoever applies the rules, definitely they will get some amount of results when you work it as a science, but definitely you need to also think it as an art, because even while applying the rules, there might be certain nuances or unsaid things which you need to make a inference and then decide or act accordingly. Like a doctor's job, whether a doctor's job is a science or a art, I would say doctor's job is also an art, because every doctor, they know when there is a cold or a fever or a BP or a sugar, they have a preset defined prescriptions or medications available. But you go to each doctor, though they have done the same MBBS, though they have done the same studies about the illness and the remediation programs, still each doctor will adopt it slightly differently. So very similar to that, any profession, yes, any profession will fall under the rules, but deploying them, making use of them is an art. So very similarly, trading, if you ask me whether it is a science or art, definitely it is a science. So if you know the rules, definitely anybody can deploy those rules and get some benefits out of it, no doubt about it. But if you want to fully execute them well and take the maximum mileage out of it, then you should be an artist also, knowing which rules to use, which parameters to fine tune, how to manage and measure and maneuver the whole set of rules and make a maximum use out of the given situations, because the given situations are so dynamic, you cannot put rules for every kind of a situation. Your rules, if you put a too rigid a rule, then that itself might become a hindrance for your trading activities. Very similar to the war, you need a premises, you need a kind of baseline to go ahead with, but with the baseline alone you cannot do a very good job at it. You need to have a knack of understanding the varied things are there that are there in the markets and act accordingly, and you should know when your rules might do well, when your rules may not do well, when the rules may not do well, what is that you need to do to navigate and make a maximum returns out of it without much damage. So today's issue or today's discussion point is whether trading is an art or a science. We cannot just say it in black and white terms whether it is an art or a science, because every art needs some kind of background, every science needs some kind of artwork. So it is both complementing. Trading is both a science as well as an art. At the base level, definitely it is science, and the maximum you how much you can take out of it is dependent on your smartness, which can be called as an art. So we will look into more topics tomorrow. Until then, Om Swasti.